This space we claim, this place of peace, this hallowed ground. These stones we raise have all been called long before, have all been claimed long before, long before.
Welcome to Knowlton Church in Dorset, and it's an ancient site. I have been here before to do some night photography, and I have been kind of hoping that I might be able to do some tonight. It's not ideal, as you might be able to see from the sky around me. We've got some cloud cover, and but up here to this direction is due to stay hopefully relatively clear for a couple of hours after dark, 2 to 3 hours. So full darkness about 6 o'clock. It'll start clouding over by about a bit more by about 8 o'clock. And north is that way, and my hope is that enough cloud cover will remain clear, the sky will remain clear enough in that direction for me to get some star trails tonight. Haven't tried star trails here before, so that'll be fun. And depending on how the sky is in the other direction that way, I may also do some star trails from the far side of the church, looking back this way, what I would tend to call a star stream. So, you know, classic star trails, sky rotating around the North Star, around Polaris. But looking to the south aspect, what we'll see is a kind of stream of stars which sweep down and then back up again in the upper half of the picture, and then, or the equatorial plane, and then the ecliptic plane rather, and then up and then back down again in the lower half. And so you end up with this kind of divided, I don't know if I can do this, divided sky which kind of comes together and then separates again in terms of the stars. And that can look quite nice. I'll show you a couple of pictures that I took at Abbotsbury that illustrate that.
Under skies crowned by moon's cold glow, the tale of time is written here in fallen stars.
I don't think I'm going to bother trying to photograph Milky Way tonight. The tail end of the Milky Way will be in that direction this evening, in the middle of the night, by which time not only will it be pretty much full cloud, we're way off Milky Way season as yet. At least another 2 to 3 months before we have that particular joy. So I have, however, done some shots already just of what kind of passes for sunset just about. And let's just give you a little bit of a view of the church behind me there. Yeah, that's better, isn't it? It's a lovely place. I always have some interesting conversations when I come here. Once all the dog walkers have disappeared, you tend to find nearer to sunset, the more sort of spiritual lot arrive, and that happened again tonight. There was a gentleman and a lady who I had a very pleasant conversation with, and the lady was carrying around a bell with dragons depicted on it, and the gentleman, I'm sorry I don't know their names, I should have asked, the gentleman explained that when I asked, tell me about the bell, he says, well, we kind of use it for clearing a space, and whatever that means. I don't think he meant physically. I suspect that he meant spiritually in some way. And so I do enjoy some of these interesting conversations I have when I come out here, and it tends to never disappoint.
Ages have passed since acorn rose through muddied ground, sap rising, gentle as the lightest breeze. Layer by layer, from earth and air to wooded heights, I shall in time, like all things, fall under skies crowned by moon's cold glow. The tale of time is written here in fallen stone and rising spoil, abandoned all, redemption lost. This space we claim, this place of peace, this hallowed ground. These stones we raise have all been called long before, have all been claimed long before, long before.
Well, good evening, and welcome back. It's not all going to plan, really. So, where to begin? It's really cold, and dew point has certainly occurred very early this evening, and it's been a constant battle, unfortunately, trying to keep the lenses free of lens fog. So I've had to abandon my Nissi night light filter, unfortunately. But there you go, that's what it is. It's this time of year, and when the temperature drops, humidity falls and dew forms, and so that's what happens. Anyway, that means that the time-lapse shots that I have been trying to do are unlikely to succeed. I have tried all sorts of things, including putting hand warmers on the lenses. I thought I'd try that first. That was a tip somewhere on YouTube. Hasn't worked in my case. I let the lenses acclimate to the ambient temperature and the cameras before using them. That hasn't helped particularly either. So I have now resorted to putting my traditional lens warmer wraps on, powered by a USB battery pack, and so we'll see how that goes. It's got cloudy sooner than anticipated, or it is coming and going. It's reasonably clear at the moment, but it does keep coming and going, which would be great on a time lapse, but not really particularly for star trails. Other issue is the moon is really bright, and so that isn't helping a great deal. It's a 3/4 moon roughly, and it's now pretty much, it's almost face on the side of the building that I am photographing. So that's night photography for you. I do at least have my lights with me, and so I've been able to put some nice mood lighting inside the building, and I think that's going to be quite effective, really showing up the face of some of the brickwork, the exposed brickwork there in this old ruin. Because we've got the moon and the sky is therefore quite bright, I've really had to play around with my settings. Normally I don't really like the histogram to get much beyond about halfway across the chart on the back of the camera at night, and if I put my normal settings on, which would be something like ISO 4000, 15 seconds, and f2.2 or f2.8, with those sorts of settings, it's just like daylight basically, and so I've really had to peg back the exposure quite significantly. So we're looking at more like ISO 1250, or I think one of them might even be on ISO 1000 with f2.8 and again 15 seconds. I'm running interval timer, so there's a shot being taken every 17 seconds, and it'll carry on doing that until about 9:15, 9:30, something like that, by which time I think we're likely to have quite a lot of cloud cover, so hence that is my time for finishing the time lapse. So I will get back when I know a little bit more about how it's panning out and whether or not we're going to have much success with these time lapses. Trouble is that every time I try to check the lens for fog, I am of course ruining that exposure, and so at the very least I'm going to have some interrupted star trails and a bit of a weird time lapse, but there we go. What can you do? I'm having fun anyway. Right, catch you later. Okay, well, sadly, cloud has moved in earlier than forecast. By the way, I hope you're liking my rather fetching new hat for this today because of the cold weather. Wasn't happy with the one I was using last winter, and so far I'm actually quite pleased with it. It's really, really warm, really warm. Okay. Enough of the fashion accessories. Yeah, so cloud has moved in, and according to weather and radar, it is only going to get worse from here on in, and I can see only a handful of stars, and it's covering, you know, a bit thinly, but it is covering the whole of the sky, and so I'm really not going to get my star trails, unfortunately. I haven't checked for lens fog recently, so I will quickly do that. And if we've got any sign of that, I shall just stop. I'll probably stop anyway because of the way things have changed. I don't think I've got much left to say about this trip, but it has been nice to just get out at night once again and re-exercise my night shooting skills, because it's quite a while. It's many weeks since I've been able to get out and shoot at night, so it has been nice to do that. Unfortunately, it's just not the right conditions. Hopefully, in another couple of weeks' time, next time the new moon comes round again. I shall do my utmost to get out somewhere interesting, maybe back here, and see if I can do something a little better with it. Thank you very much for joining me. I really do appreciate all of those of you, particularly those who've been following me for some years now, and I really do appreciate all the comments. And do you have trouble with lens fog? And if you have found a reliable solution to it, please let me know in the comments. That would be so helpful. I have tried all sorts of things over the years and just really not got very far with that, unfortunately. Right, that's it. Thank you for joining me. Do like, subscribe, all those lovely YouTubey things. Please do go and take a look at my website at some point. That's nigelbaileyphotography.co.uk. And if you like any of my, would like to buy any of my prints, those are available to purchase from my website. So I look forward to seeing you again next time.
Have all been called long before. Have all been claimed long before. Long before. Under skies crowned by moon's cold glow, the tale of time is written here. In fallen stone and rising spoil, abandoned all redemption lost. Long before